Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. Let me just put up the disclaimers quickly on the top left hand corner. So by all means please read them, not just for legal reasons but also to understand what you can expect from these kind of videos. Now the 3D market commentary is a video that we do every day, Monday to Friday, around about this same kind of time, so 8:30 Eastern time. Where I say, yeah, 8:30 Eastern time. I'm not in Eastern time, so I just had to do the maths quickly there. But yes, 8:30 Eastern time. And what we do is we expand on an email that we send out to our free members. So the email that we send out has information on 5 major world markets. And for each of those markets, we look at 3 separate things to give us probabilities of what's likely to happen in those markets. So we send out that email every day, and then we do a video on it to expand on it and give you a little bit more context. Now my name is Becky, my email address is here, becky@tradictive.com. I have a very big arrow. I can't remember how I got this big arrow or how I can make it smaller. She says, oh there you go, I'm doing it, there we go, great. So that's my email address, becky@tradictive.com, and then there's support@tradictive.com, so you can email us on either one of those emails if you need to. Now we also have this link here, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. And from this link, you can get yourself apps, depending on which platform you use. You can see the apps and you can see how much they cost and where you can get them, how you can get them, the options planner as well. You can also book one-on-one coaching from here. And you can also, once you've got a free membership, you can get yourself in here to ask questions, which is great because if you ask questions in a public space, I can answer them in a public space and we all learn from the same area. So ideally, that's where you'd go if you have questions. Okay, so if I bring up the newsflash, which is the email that we send out, it's relative to or relevant to market data. So we've got the chart on the right-hand side as well. With the email that we send out, remember I said it's 5 different markets and we look at 3 different things? Well, these are the 3 different things, 3 different elements that we look at, hence calling it a 3D approach, 3D market commentary, 3D newsflash, okay? So the first thing is market climate. Where do we have probabilities? Up or down, and therefore do we buy or sell? Maybe there aren't enough probabilities either way, in which case we do nothing. Now, that's the first thing we should be asking ourselves as traders is where is the likely probability, up or down or nowhere? We use technology to help us with everything. This is not exempt. We use AutoClimate, which is a free app on most platforms you can use it on. And AutoClimate tells us where the probability is. If you ignore the lines and just look at the dots, if we have a thick blue dot, that tells us probability is upwards, so we should look to buy. If we have a thick red dot, that tells us probability is downwards. We should look to sell. And if we have a thin dot of either colour, that tells us not enough probability either way, therefore we do nothing. So we use the app to give us a very clear answer there, where the probability is. Then we want to know, if we're going to buy, where are we going to buy? And if we're going to sell, where are we going to sell? And again, we use technology to help us. So we have green UFOs, those show us where buyers are. They tell us the prices as well on the right hand side, between which prices we have buyers. The red UFOs, these show us where the sellers are and they tell us the prices, between which prices we have sellers. Now why is that helpful? Because the only way price can go up in anything is if you have more buyers than sellers. The only way price can go down in anything is if you have more sellers than buyers. So if we know where lots of buyers are and where lots of sellers are, we have an idea of where they might push price up or down. So we look at that per market as well. And then what we look at is market volatility. How quickly can we expect these markets to move? So we start with the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks. And on each of these charts, we're looking at a daily chart. So of course, different things happen on different time frames. We are looking at a daily chart here. That's what's relevant here. So with the S&P 500, great start, we have an unconfirmed climate. See, it says current up, confirmed no. So it doesn't matter that it says up, it doesn't matter that that's blue. What matters is it's a thin dot, it's an unconfirmed climate. So what that means is we don't have enough probability in either direction. So if we don't have enough probability in either direction, it's probably best not to buy or sell because we don't have probability up or down. So we change timeframes, we change markets. Now we do have sell orders just above us here at 44.72 to 44.10.75, and they are pushing price down already. Price already came in up here, touched these sellers and came down. the sellers are pushing price down. That's what we expect them to do. That's why we want to know where they are. And we're obviously much closer to these sell orders than we are to the buy orders, which are all the way down here at 41.23 to 40.55.5. So overall, I would say I would be more surprised to see price go up, meaning I would say it's slightly more probable that price comes down because we're closer to sellers right now. However, we've got this unconfirmed climate, so really can't really call it in either direction. We'll see how this plays out over the next few days. I wouldn't be surprised to see it come down, but we'll wait and see. We don't want to be jumping the gun. So when it comes to volatility, with the S&P 500, we expect it to go up or down in 1 year of 20.04%. So in a day, that's up or down of 55.16 points. In a week is 121.43, and in a month 252.78. And again, that's movement up or down in these markets. So next market is going to be oil. Now in the meantime, it says here about different courses that we do. You can do courses with us in futures, forex, stocks, backtesting, trading plans, psychology. So by all means, check out those courses, see what works out better for you. Most of them come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps anyway. Now, AutoClimate is free on most platforms you can use it on, but AutoUFOs is a paid-for subscription, which you can subscribe to directly. You don't have to do a course, you can just get the apps. Oftentimes, it's actually cheaper to do a course and get the apps for free for 3 months than it is to simply just subscribe for the apps. So check that out and see what works best for you. So coming back to our markets, with oil, we have a confirmed upwards climate. Thick blue dot there, probability upwards. Saying that, this market would usually go up for 7 candles, just rounded that up, and we're on candle number 13. So what that means is we've nearly gone twice as far as what is usual in this market. So what that means is we do still have probability upwards, just not as much as we'd like because it's kind of, you know, overextended, which means it wouldn't be surprising to see it drop. Now saying that, we have buy orders beneath us here at 78.89 to 74.96, just beneath us. So if price were to fall a little bit, it's probably going to hit a big stack of buy orders and come back up again. So overall, still overall probability up here with oil. Just bear in mind, not as much as we would ideally like because it's overextended. Now, with volatility, we'd expect oil to move up or down in 1 year of 38%. So in 1 day, that's 1.95 points up or down. In a week, 4.29, and in a month, 8.93. So that's the volatility we'd expect on oil. So next market is gold. Now it says down here about coaching and support. We do a bunch of coaching and support for free, so you can join us on many platforms to join us in our coaching sessions. We also have a closed coaching environment, which is a small monthly fee to get access to more of our time in a closed environment. So check out what might be best for you there. With gold, we have a confirmed downwards climate. That's a thick red dot, probability downwards. Now we have sell orders above us here at 1866 to 1804.4, but they're not that close to current price. We have buy orders here at 1652.8 to 1624.4, also relatively far from current price. So it's the climate really that's giving this its probability downwards. I don't know what I just did there, made the thing really big again, but anyway, it's this dot here, that thick red dot down, that's giving us our probability downwards. Now, usually this market would go down for 7 candles and we're on candle number 1. So that gives us more probability that it's likely to go down because it's at the start of what would be a usual run to the downside. So we'll see what happens there. Overall probability down with gold. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect it to move up or down in 1 year of 15.67%, which in a day is 17.33 points up or down. In a week, 38.15, and in a month, 79.41. So that's what we'd expect on gold in terms of movement. Next market is the US dollar. The US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions daily, so be aware of it. It will impact a lot of the markets you could be trading. Now, with the dollar, we have a confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot. We have probability upwards. Now, this market usually goes up for 5 candles, and we're on candle number 17. So we've gone past 3 times as far as what is usual in this market. So be aware that we are quite a bit overextended, still probability upwards, but again, wouldn't be surprised to see it drop either. So just bear that in mind. We have sellers above us here at 95.375 to 94.775. And we have buy orders here at 93.495 to 93.195. And we're kind of in the middle here, sort of, 94.23, sort of in the middle there. So I don't think either one of those stacks of orders is likely to make an impact today. The climate is still up, but we are overextended. So I would say overall, if we had to call it, probability upwards, but again, be a little bit careful there. Now, bear in mind, I'm using words like probability. I'm not using words like definite. We never know what's definitely going to happen in the markets. We never know what's definitely going to happen with anything. So in the markets in particular, we need to still manage our risk. Even if we have lots of probabilities pointing in one direction, we still manage our risk. We still might add other layers to help us get even greater probability. But for traders, we don't want to be pressing buy or sell if we don't at least have some probabilities in that direction. So for the time being with the dollar, overall slightly probability upwards, but overextended. So bear that in mind. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect the dollar to go up or down in 1 year of 5.19%, which is 0.31 points up or down in a day. In a week is 0.68, and in a month, 1.41. So that's the US dollar. Now, moving on to the last market here, which is back to Bitcoin. Now, it says there about interested but have questions. You can self-schedule a clarification call, speak to one of our experts, see what's going to work best for you, if anything, if you're a bit confused about different apps or memberships or things that you might need. Okay, so with back Bitcoin, we have a confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot there, probability to the upside. And again, we're kind of in the middle between stacks of buyers and sellers. We have buyers here at 49,702.5 to 47,450. And we have sellers up here at 65,000 even to 61,120. And we're kind of in the middle. So unlikely to see either one of them make an impact on the markets today. But that climate is quite strong to the upside. So overall probability up here with Bitcoin. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect Bitcoin to go up or down in 1 year of 87.58%. So in a day, that's 3,118.77 up or down. In a week would be up or down of 6,865.66, and in a month would be 14,292.01. So quite volatile compared to the others. So for each of the markets, we have looked at climate, which is where the probability lies, up or down or nowhere. We've looked at buy and sell UFOs. Where do we have buyers that can push price up or sellers that can push price down? And volatility. How quickly do we expect these markets to move within these given time frames? Now, the last thing we want to look at is our weekly economic calendar, which is quite long this week. So we get it from fxstreet.com. And what we do is we filter by high impact news, meaning we want to know where we are or when we are likely to have scheduled news reports that could create a high impact or create high volatility in these particular markets. So for example, today being Monday, it's Columbus Day in the States. That might affect the markets. It's Thanksgiving Day in Canada, so that might affect their markets. And then we've also got Spanish National Day. Lots of holiday days today. Spanish National Day in Spain, that might affect the European markets. We've got Lady of Aparecida in Brazil, and we've got Columbus Day in what looks like Argentina. So lots of holiday days in many countries, which might actually reduce volatility in a lot of those markets. So be aware that those things might affect us. We've also got coming up this week Columbus Day in other parts of the world, so Mexico and I guess that's Chile, looks like it. I'm not that great with my flags, but I think so. So again, we might see this over the next couple of days that the markets don't actually move very much as a result of there being a lot of holidays. But keep an eye out and obviously be careful whatever you're doing. Any questions, please go to tradewithufos.com/Becky up there. You can get yourself a free membership from this link, and you can also get your different apps depending on which platforms you use. It depends on the price, but you can check those out and see which one works best for you. You can book one-on-one coaching, and you can ask questions here as well. So from this link, you can do loads of things. Please, if you do have questions, I prefer that you put them here. If not, of course, you can email me if you're not comfortable posting a question publicly. And my email address is becky@tradictive.com. So I'll be back later on in the week. My colleague Boyan will be taking this tomorrow and Wednesday, so he'll be there tomorrow, and I'll see you guys